Alright, guys, got another video for you. Okay, so we have asteroids that we can shoot. They break apart, but we need a way to put more asteroids on the screen. Last time we created an asteroid ejector. Looks something like this. Let me delete this, and this. And here is what we're going for. We want something to open up and create another asteroid, just like that. So you need to have from this frame all the way to this frame. You don't have to have 16 and 17 and all those other ones. You just need to have where the ejector is closed and then it opens up. Alright, so we are going to create another object and it's going to be called the ejector. Let's start by creating a new scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit add a scene. And this one's going to be a sprite. So I'm going to choose other node and then sprite. And I'm going to call this the ejector. And I'm going to call mine online for my online video series. You don't have to say that. Just put ejector on yours, probably. You know what? I'll just do that. I'll just make our lives easier. Alright, so we have the ejector scene. We are going to need to save this scene, so I'm going to save it. Let me see, where do I want to save it? You should be saving yours in the scenes folder, objects, and then hopefully you have an asteroids folder. Let me see where I saved mine. Asteroids. Did I save it? Okay, yeah, I saved mine in my asteroid folder. So you need to save yours in your asteroid folder. So ejector, and I'm going to call mine underscore online version so I don't get confused. So save it in scenes, objects, asteroids. All right, save. All right, so I have my ejector now, and I know this is kind of confusing if you're looking at my stuff because I have online folders and stuff. It's just because I teach you guys while I'm making my game at the same time. So yours should be in objects, asteroids. Yours should be in here. Mine is in online asteroids, so I can keep mine separated. Okay. So I've got my ejector here. There's no picture yet. Scroll down and hopefully you guys have already put your picture in under your sprites folder. Remember, sprites are pictures. That's why we put them in the sprites folder. They're just our pictures that we use to hold our character models. So you'll see that I nicely and neatly named mine. Ejector, capital E, they're all spelt the same, and 00 all the way up to 25. I'm not going to use these extra ones because I've since found better ways to do it, but here we go. So for the first picture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on ejector and I'm going to pull in my first picture into the texture side over here on the right. Now I've got my picture and I want to add an animation player. The animation player controls the pictures that come up on the screen. And I'm going to make two different animations. I'm going to make an idle animation, which is just going to be this one picture here. So my idle is this frame. So I'm just going to click on my ejector. I'm going to click the key next to the texture. And there we go. That one is done. The idle animation is done. So now I am going to go to a new animation. So I'm going to click on animation. I'm going to hit new. And I'm going to put eject asteroid. Like that. Okay. So now I have this eject asteroid. And the first frame for my eject asteroid, I want it to be the closing frame. And then I'm going to go from 0 all the way to 14, which is actually 15 frames, I think. So I'm going to do let's do 1.6 seconds. I don't know if that's exactly right, but I have a suspicion that it's somewhere around there. So there's my 0 frame. So I'm going to grab and put in my next one. Then the next one. And I'm just going to repeat this process until this ejector has fully opened. So you got to be careful to keep them in the same order. And once you get a good pace, you can probably put them in pretty quick. 11, 12. I don't know how many frames yours has. Mine's got quite a few. One more. All right. So now I can see that if I play this, it looks like it's opening. Excellent. So I have eject asteroid, and right now it just opens up. Okay, now once it's fully open, I want the asteroid to look like it's starting to appear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my ejector, and I'm going to add another sprite. And I'm going to call this Asteroid. Now, this asteroid is not going to be a permanent thing. I'm just using this so I can make it look like an asteroid is coming through. And the asteroid I'm going to use is my regular asteroid. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find my normal asteroid, which should be under my asteroids here. There it is, asteroid 00. And I'm going to drag and drop into asteroid 00, that right there. Now, you'll notice that mine is not centered up, so I'm going to want to center this up right there. Something like that. Centered it up just a little bit. That's better. All right. So now I still have that door that's opening and closing in the back, but I also have an asteroid sitting right in the center. Now, if I go to my idle animation, you'll notice that the asteroid's there as well. So we're going to have to deal with that. So what we're going to want to do is we want to hide this asteroid while the doors are opening. So at this first part, I want to come down here to, let's go to visibility. And under modulate, we want to set the visibility to 0. So the alpha is at 0 right now. And I'm going to keyframe that. Now you'll see I have two animations. I've got the ejector, and it's got all of these tabs here, or all these keyframes where they're opening. And you can no longer see the asteroid that's in the center. So I'm going to go back to my idle, and you don't see it anymore because it's also faded out. I'm going to go ahead and keyframe this faded out part in my idle as well so it doesn't appear. Back to my asteroid ejector. So it's not there yet, but I want it to start appearing when the doors are starting, maybe when they're like right here. I could make it start appearing at this point right here, right? So what I can do is I'm going to keyframe one in front of it so it's invisible from here to here. Those frames are the same. And I'm going to step over one, and I'm going to start making it appear. I want it to appear through this part. So I want it to start appearing. I need a little bit more time. Let me see. I'll just go ahead and start making it appearing. Right there. Keyframe. All right, now what you're going to see is while it starts to open, when it hits this keyframe right here, the next one is going to slowly start bringing that asteroid into existence. Like it's coming through the portal. That looks pretty cool. Now, I might also want to make it smaller and then get larger like it's coming through the portal. So what I want to do is I'm going to come to the start, the first frame, and I want to keyframe the scale 1, 1. So now the scale of my asteroid is 1, 1 here. And I might want to actually make that smaller. Let's do 0.1, 0.1. Keyframe. And then at the very end, we'll make it full size. So 1, 1. Okay, so now I have a keyframe that's right here, and it's 0.1, so it's small, and then it slowly gets larger. So as time goes on, the asteroid's getting bigger, and then it's coming through. So you'll notice that it's already halfway grown by the time it gets there. So what you can do is you can grab this 0.1, 0.1, and you can move it to the start here. And it should look a little bit different. So like going, and then there's the asteroid coming through like that. Let's play it and see what it looks like. Looks good. Okay, so this is going to be the eject asteroid. So the asteroid ejector starts in the closed position. It opens, and then the asteroid starts to fade in and grow like it's coming from the outside part. Then, after the asteroid has gotten created, so like imagine like right now, this is all in one animation. There's no actual asteroid getting created just yet in your game. This is just an animation that's going to play. So what we need to do is right at this point right here is where we would create the actual asteroid and stop showing this part. So we're going to need an ejector closes. So I'm going to make an animation new, and I'm going to say ejector. Ejector. Let's just do eject underscore. No. Ejector close. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, so I have a third animation now. So I have my first animation, which is idle. Has nothing, just sits there. Then I have my eject asteroid, which starts closed, opens up, and spits out an asteroid. Then we want the ejector closed. So on the ejector closed, we do not need this asteroid here. So I need to go to this asteroid setting and change the modulate to my asteroid to invisible. So 0 alpha. And I'll key that. So there the asteroid's invisible. And then I want to reverse how these are working. So right now, the ejector is in the open spot. If yours isn't open, you can go find your ejector picture. So let's go take a look at, there's my ejector. So I'm going to want to go in reverse. So if yours is not on this one, you would drag and drop in your open picture and then start keyframing them in reverse. So I'm just going backwards now. So it started out closed. Then we opened it and spit out a asteroid. And now we're pretending like the asteroid got created and we're closing the door. And then finally this last one with the door all the way closed. Okay, and that looks like 1.5 to me. Okay, so it's open and then it closes. And now it's really important that you modulate your asteroid, because if you don't modulate your asteroid and then you go from one scene to the next, your asteroid will just start randomly appearing. Uh-oh. Where's my asteroid? No. Oh, I see what I did. I'm glad that we're looking at this. I hope you're looking at it too. Self-modulate was what we used here. And then on the other one, for whatever reason, I chose to do... I think I chose to do modulate. Maybe. Maybe not. Where's my asteroid? Oh, yeah. One I did modulate, and then the other one I did self-modulate. So you got to make sure you don't do two different ones. Let me get rid of this. I'll get rid of this one, and I'll change it to self-modulate. So I'm keyframing self-modulate at invisible. Then I'm cranking it up to invisible right in front of it. Then it should start to appear. It should be fully visible there. So then I will change this to fully visible and keyframe it. So that's self-modulate. You got to make sure you use the same one for both. If you use modulate on one and then self-modulate on the other, it will cause you some issues. Obviously, like I just did to myself there. Okay, so there's no asteroid there. Self-modulate is off, so I can't see it. On the idle, I used modulate, so I need to fix this. You can use the same one. If you use all the same, then that'll be fine. So self-modulate. Just use the same one. If you use modulate or self-modulate. How modulate works, it's like the parent controls all the ones below it. Self-modulate controls that exact picture. In this case, your asteroid is a child, so it doesn't matter because it's the lowest level. You just need to make sure you use the same for all of them and don't make the same mistake I did. Okay, so idle self-modulate is off. Eject asteroid self-modulate is off, and then as it turns, it starts to come back on, and there's my asteroid. And then ejector close, self-modulate is off, and so then the doors start to close after the asteroid was done, and it's closed again, and then from this point it would go back to idle. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys were able to follow along and get your animations working. In the next video, what we'll do is we'll make it where this actually works, and at the end of it, it will actually create your asteroid, and you will have more than one asteroid on the screen to destroy. Alright, so that's it. You guys have a great day. See y'all later.